Thank you. Thank you. It's a privilege to be here and participate in this webinar. Thank you all and greetings from San Joaquin Regional Transit District. We are a small to moderate sized transit district, and the aspect that we have here is that both my chief operating officer and myself are new to this environment. We have about 3 years that we started here at San Joaquin, and we've been trying to revolutionize the approach that was established originally by the predecessors into transitioning over more to the hydrogen type of fueling and vehicle operation. We're trying to keep in line with the ICT. Next slide, please. Just basically some overviews on what we're doing. I'll probably give you the zero emission vision, our agency overview, insights and lessons that we've learned from this early deployment, how we've been working with arches and some other funding sources. The transition that we're moving towards is more geared towards a mobile liquid hydrogen fueling station, with hopefully a way to reduce BOC or boil off. And kind of some procurement strategies that we're attempting to implement. And we are also going to be performing a 3x3 study, which we've started with KTC, and trying to analyze our diesel hybrids, our battery electric buses, and the new fuel cells that we've recently purchased. And hopefully you can come away with some few tidbits. Next slide, please. So we committed to transition to zero emission to follow the ICT, or the Innovative Clean Transit Act, or regulations that were established here in California. The early approach was basically our board wanted to achieve this by 2025, beating the 2029 earmark. But we convinced them not to do that. It was too fast, and we wanted to take some time to evaluate the technology that we were presented with, which was battery electric bus, and look into the hydrogen aspect. We service around 800 residents countywide, and we operate a bus of about 70 buses. 40 of them are diesel hybrids, 25 of them are battery electric, and currently 5 are hydrogen. This location was the early adopter of Proterra buses, first and foremost. That's when they had a range of about 25 miles and they had to be recharged en route. We're kind of looking away from battery electrics. We're not very pleased with the performance. A little more into that. And we're trying to focus in on the H2 fueling strategies and the FCEV buses. Next slide, please. So we have begun our process with a gaseous system, portable. Originally, we did try to obtain a liquid mobile fueler, but things didn't pan out. We had to back away from the contract, and we ended up agreeing to this gaseous fueler. The lower right-hand side, you'll see the tandem containers on a trailer. Those carry the tanks. This is a 500 kilogram capacity, 500 bar. The dispenser up above it hooks into those trailer arrangement and dispenses the fuel to the buses at 350 bar. I will say this, in whatever it is you're going to get into with respect to hydrogen, expect the unexpected. We did not expect to be in a gaseous situation. We were fully intending to be liquid. That didn't transpire. The other piece of this is always have good partners, just like Joe said. If it wasn't for AC Transit, our transition into this would have been delayed tremendously because of the unexpected issue with the mobile fueling trailer. But luckily we were able to reach out to AC Transit, and they were gracious enough to allow us to fuel at their facility, which kept our buses in operation the whole time that we were working out the details with this gaseous fueler. It's expensive. The kilograms are at $18, and that includes shipping, versus liquid, which will probably come in at 10 or below. We're hoping that we can get to that point, because at $18 a kilogram, it's really not sustainable and good for the community's tax dollars. Next slide, please. So we are working with Arches at the time and trying to get funding. They've been very proactive in the availability of funds for our intended retrofit of our maintenance shop to begin repairing the fueling aspect of these FCEBs in shop. They are looking at lending us or loaning us, providing us with grant money for additional purchase of FCEBs. And basically, we hope to be finished with testing the mobile fueler by April of 2026, at which time we'll make a determination as to how we will be proceeding with the additional FCVs that we will be purchasing. They have some very good plans, and I hope that everything will continue in the manner that it's established, because I think it will be a benefit to everyone concerned. There are some concerns on our part. As I mentioned, we service a very disadvantaged community, and from our aspect is that we have this tendency of, for every dollar we spend, we want at least another dollar returned. So that makes it a value to our constituents here, to our riders and taxpayers. Next slide, please. So this mobile fueler that we are attempting to obtain is going to look something like what's in the picture above on the right. It's going to support from 1 to 30 buses. It's going to be fully self-contained. We will have to do a little bit of infrastructure improvements to provide the electricity for the unit and for the refrigeration unit. Again, we are leaning towards having a refrigeration unit in order to cool the cryogenic tank, and to use some Nakiso pumps to try to reduce the amount of compression and loss of hydrogen during that process. What we expect to save, from my understanding, there are properties that are losing from 40 to 60% of the product. We're hoping to cut that down to at least 10, maybe 5% loss. We'll see. Again, we're working towards these things. KTC is actively involved in researching these items for us. And we're hoping that we can achieve at least that level of containment or product loss. Currently, as we fuel on our gaseous units, we don't experience the loss per se from a cryogenic standpoint. Our loss is basically, because it's a cascade fill, there is a residual amount of fuel that's left in the trailer that was being used to pressurize the tanks to fill to cascade fill the tanks on the buses. We have installed IRDA units, which are infrared data association units, which I believe Joe referred to them as communicated fuel. And basically that's what it is. The tanks kind of register with the dispenser what fueling capacity is, and allows the dispenser to fill to what it considers to be its maximum fill point. What we're trying to do, and seems to be successful, is run our buses to about a 3% state of fill. That way the pressure in our tanks on the buses is low and we can squeeze out a few more kilograms from the trailer during fill times. The tanks do not fill to capacity because we do not have a compressor for that gaseous unit. And we do not intend on purchasing one only because of the cost, and we'd rather focus our attention to the liquid fueler. Next slide, please. So again, for the zero boil off or the bog, the refrigeration unit, what you're seeing there is more of a unit that would be used for a permanent station, but we understand that there are now portable units on skids that can be placed next to the cryogenic mobile fueler and tied into the refrigeration lines there. A separate cost is going to be for providing the electricity for that. It stands to be seen how much of a savings we will have running a refrigeration unit versus the boil off. If we had enough buses, we could keep the tank, the cryogenic tank, filled on a regular basis. There in and of itself, it would reduce the amount of boil off. But because we're running so few buses, the fill time would probably be extended for each bus, so the storage would be longer in the tank, allowing it to be exposed to our atmospheric temperatures, which here in Stockton can reach 113, 115 degrees. Not good for liquid hydrogen. The estimate for our fueler, the liquid fueler, is broken down and will probably total out to about 6.15 million. It's kind of inexpensive for the testing that we want to perform prior to actually committing to a permanent station. Some of the funding sources below: Measure K, capital funds, energized grants, Low-No, and ARCHES are going to be used. Next slide, please. So KTC is going to be performing a 3x3 to analyze the performance of our buses. And I can assuredly say at this point that the FCEBs far exceed performance on the road to that of the BEBs. They mirror those of the hybrids, the diesel hybrids. We are averaging approximately 326 to 350 miles per unit. And we're not experiencing exchanges as we do with our electric buses, because the minute it gets hot or the minute it gets cold, you turn the air conditioners on, you turn the heaters on, your battery begin to suffer and you start losing range even faster. But not with the fuel cells. And they've been very, very reliable as far as the Ballard units in them have been operating, I would say 98%. We really haven't had any problems with that. Next slide, please. So again, the partnerships. Joe made a really, really important point there. It's very, very important for everyone to seek out partners that you're going to be able to collaborate with and learn from each other. Every time I listen to an AC Transit presentation, I learn something, and I have a lot of appreciation for that. Next slide, please. And I conclude with that. I hope it was helpful to all of you. Thank you.